Let the clinic begin. You want to say that?
Okay, go ahead, gather around up here. We missing a cable. We didn't know we needed a special cable in order to project the camera. We're still learning. Ultimately, the goal is to be able to have the camera live show what's going on. So gather around up here close, and JJ will share his expertise with us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Jeff. Okay, the first thing we'll talk about is airbrushing, spraying. Who did that?
That was me.
Okay, anyway.
You don't want to flash it.
I did not bring my compressor that I have at home because it's big, it's noisy, and it's heavy to carry around. So this is my substitute air supply. I've got about 5 of these in storage. Now, I believe in simplicity. Keep it simple. Can't get the lid off. I will not be using paint because my Floco paint is precious. And I don't want, the paint has fumes. By the way, I spray outside. I do not have a spray booth because I'm cheap. I don't want to buy one. Works outside, we'll stand with cardboard around. When the day is not windy, works for me. This is a very simple airbrush. Badger 250. I like it because it's simple to clean. I don't take it apart to clean it. And it's does a good job for me. I'm going to have to get a new one soon. This was about 6 years old. When I paint, using Floco enamel, I've been using that for about 45, 50 years because 410M by Stuart Lundell didn't make paint anymore. So I switched to Floco a number of years ago. Okay, I just do it. I do not pour the paint into a special jar. Why do that? It's time consuming and you waste paint. But I've been doing this method for the past 45 years and it works. Open a jar of paint, put this in, start spraying. Most of my models now, I will paint with a brush. Like a resin kit, I will paint with a brush, cover every square inch of that model. Then I let it dry a couple of days, then I spray an overcoat over it.
Is that a dull coat?
This is water. It's a dull coat, empty jar of dull coat.
But that's what you overspray with, the dull coat?
Dull coat, oh, I love dull
Dull
coat.
coat.
I love dull coat. They better keep making that for 100 years. Okay, you want to spray about this distance. First coat, let it dry about 10 minutes. Put another layer on. Doesn't that look beautiful?
It's easy.
By the way, this is a front range, welded side, 6-panel car. Somebody would like to buy this, you have it for $50. Just joking. No, this is a future, probably a Penske X43-1 maybe, or yeah, X43A, on the molded side, ACF. Any questions so far?
JJ, do you thin the paint?
No, I've never thinned my paint. Buy other jars, stock Floco. Some paints you have to thin maybe. In fact, this covers a train show in September. True color paint. I haven't tried it yet. It's like solvent-based acrylic paint. Sort of like the old AccuFlex, is that right?
AccuPaint.
AccuPaint. Okay.
JJ, I use it and it's just as good as Floco. It's just like use Floco except you use fingernail polish to remove it.
Acetone, yeah. Well, it's good. It's good.
It's straight out of the bottle.
What?
Many years that you use Floco, you like it.
Well, I have 45 jars of Floco on hand. You know, standby, so.
What's the name of that again?
This is called True Color Paint.
True color paint? Okay.
I just used some this week, it covers great.
Okay.
That's a
Right out the
recommendation.
bottle.
Yep.
Does anybody use scale coat paints?
Now,
Occasionally.
it used, AccuPaint, it comes in the same bottle AccuPaint used to come in. And it thins with acetone, if you have to thin it. There's I think he has 248 colors. Almost all of them are gloss finishes, except for about a half dozen. So it's great if you're going to decal, but then after you use it, you're going to have to put dull coat or some other finish on it.
Well, if you were going to decal, you'd have to put a gloss coat on it.
No.
You don't have to,
No,
but it
no,
makes
no,
it
no.
easier.
You don't have to put gloss on.
Okay.
But he's got a nice, he just came out with a dull coat that's real nice. I tried it the other day on a model. It lays a lot flatter than the first pass than dull coat does. And it's beautiful.
Okay, back to the airbrushing talk. Yes.
Before you get too far, that carrier you got there.
Oh,
how about
okay.
that?
I believe in simplicity. This is an old box. When I build a model, by the way, like a resin kit, I put cloth there. And I put the model in here, and it can rotate it. Different positions. And when I spray paint a model, as you can see, that's what I use to hold the model when I'm spray painting. Nice job. To clean the airbrush, after I use a Floco, I use lacquer thinner. You buy it in Walmart, pint lacquer thinner to clean the airbrush. Well, this has been already put this way. Screw the lid back on your Floco jar of paint. Now, the reason I use this cheap thing, you don't have to take it apart to clean it. I have a Bechet, I have another Badger airbrush. You take it apart, clean it, put it back together with the same setting you had. It's time consuming. So this works for me. Simplicity of time. Okay, moving right along. Camera rolling? It's shifted. Shifted. Okay.
Action.
I bought a Bowser H30 a couple of months ago, and it's a pretty nice model. The paint's a little dark. There's a few changes I made, like the airline's too thick, had to replace that. The steps are replaced, and the lockdown bar for the hatches is replaced. Looking at a photo of the real car, that's about an inch on the real car, right? So I use 12 thousandths wire. On the model, it's about triple that size, way oversized. The same with the airline, it was like almost triple in size. So I use 19 thousandths wire for that. And you look at most photos of these hoppers, they do not stay clean too long. As you can see, they have a definite pattern to it. I started out with a small brush and used a Floco Poly S, which is water-based paint. I thinned the paint a little bit in fact, what I use to thin the paint is the lid of the paint jar. Puts the water in, the Floco water-based Poly S, and just dabbed it on where the pattern would be. The good part is with water, you can thin it or wash it down as much as you want. And to finish it, Floco dust and white overspray. That came out pretty good. In fact, after I did that car, I did my other two Pensy hoppers, same way.
JJ, did you just say Floquil dust?
Dust.
That is a...
It's a color, dust.
Oh, the color.
whitish.
Dust, like grimy black, dust. They have dust, they have mud. Right?
I know about like the grimy and the like that.
Yeah, there's
It's
dust.
not brown dust, it's white.
It's like, yeah, it's all.
It's almost antique white in color.
Yeah, almost antique white.
It's real thin.
And it looks like you've watered it down. It's
Real fine mist.
it's almost a
yeah.
wash.
Yeah.
It's almost a wash.
Same jar as any, all the other
Yeah,
paints.
oh yeah. Of course, you can't get it anymore, they're out of business, so anyway.
Wow.
But I have 2 jars left.
White with all the river.
Anyway, that came out pretty good. I'm gonna pass these photos around of what H30 hopper looks like. Brand new. Pictures taken 1940. And probably out doing the car shops.
JJ, if you were to build this model for achievement,
Yeah, right.
It could be done. It might take me 4 months.
okay. Well, the question I have is to present it weathered or present it fresh from the builder, is there a difference in how it would be judged?
Possibly, depending on the judges. Some judges love to see a clean model. Some judges would like to see a properly weathered model. So, you know, it's variable. But let's say you built a car, okay, and you put the build date on April 1936. You tell this is the way it looked the next day, or the next month, May of 1936. You know, you explain. So, you know. Now, to me, it's harder to get a good weathering job. That's a challenge to weather. Some people, except John, does it good. But some people are afraid to weather their cars. You look at model railroad or the freight cars on railroads. How many are weathered? Very few. Because they're afraid to take the plunge.
If you're writing it up, in your write-up, you want to say, this is as built, you know, a brand new car, and then you don't weather it. Otherwise...
You have to say, why didn't you weather it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say, this is how it looked when
It's
it
fresh
came out
from the
back.
shop.
You can
Fresh from the
criticize.
shop.
You can criticize no matter what you do.
Okay.
A couple of years ago, John Kleiderman here?
No.
No, okay. He had a Pierre Marquette book they were showing me around the table. He made me a couple of copies for the Pierre Marquette book of some Pierre Marquette boxcars. And he gave me about 5 or 6 sheets of paper. I couldn't decide which model to build, because there was about 4 different variations. Like this car here has I think a 14.6 door opening. This car has a 12-foot door opening. So I decided to build this car, which was built by Pullman Car and Manufacture Company in 1930. And it had Hutchins dry landing roof, which I happen to have a couple castings of, which I made from AccuRail. And the N was an unusual type N. It's a 233 inverse dreadnought N. Write that down. 233 inverse dreadnought. Made my own casting for that. And you have very nice pictures of the prototype. And I started out with a red caboose body, which has a 10-foot interior height. The door opening was perfect. And I think the ladders, ladders are scratch build, all grab irons are scratch build. And one thing I noticed in the photos, now as you know, Pierre Marquette and C&O Railroad was sort of buddy-buddy, you know. But C&O did Pierre Marquette like, so forth. And this car has a square rod with the brake stand that holds the brake wheel on top. Square. C&O had it. Pierre Marquette had it. Square, not round. You know, 99.6% these things are round, right? Square.
How did you model that?
Oh, glad you asked, Gary. I've also done that on a C&O car, which I scratch built about 5 years ago. How did I do that? Well, how would you do it?
I put it in a vise and try to...
And crimp it, hammer it?
I try to square it out.
Too complex. Take a piece of 50 thousandths round brass wire, bend it like this, put a little 90-degree bend in it, get your motor tool with the cut-off wheel, grind one side flat, rotate it, grind the other side, rotate it 4 times, you've got a square rod measuring 1.25 inches in size. 4 sides square. Follow me? Easy. Only takes less than a minute. Because you couldn't use styrene, it would be wouldn't be stand up. Couldn't use wood, so wire that's squared off. Really a squared off deal, you know. Remember that next time you do a PM maquette or C&O car, easy to do. Why would you do it? You can't tell by looking at it, but I know it's there. Half the fun is doing research and building accurate models, right? Right. All in agreement? All right.
Now, would a judge pick that up?
No, you have to tell them.
Okay.
They probably couldn't see it. I mean, at this distance, you can tell if a graphite is 10 thousandths or 12 thousandths, but I know the difference. Anyway, a little bit of weathering, moderately. And when I was building this car, pass this around, I had an old set of Champ decals. I mean old, like 40 years old. Guess what? They were not the right size letter. Champ is known for making nice decals, but accuracy, different story. Because back 40 years ago, nobody cared about accuracy. Now we do, right? Fortunately, I was working on another project, and anybody remember this company? CTS Dry Transfers. These
They're
are
out of business.
They were out of business years ago. However, they're back in business. Somebody bought the company called Ozark Miniatures in Cedar City, Utah. By the way, they have a website, and they have about 90% of these lettering. I'm going to pass this around. 90% of what's in the catalog you can still buy. So I sent away for the Pierre Marquette lettering and the numbers. It gives you a whole set, but the real small dimensional data, you got to use the decal. But the PM reporting marks and the large lettering are exactly the right size for the model. How do I know? Because I have a lettering chart from the PM Marquette boxcar, which gives you the size of the lettering. 9 inches high. Exactly. And the model is exactly 9 inches high. Now, dry transfers, you very carefully put it on the model and you rub it on. You get one chance. So you better be sure you want the lettering exactly where you want it, to a 10,000th of an inch accuracy. Once it's on, it stays on. Dark coated, you can't tell. Just like a decal.
If you use tape to hold it down while you're,
I've got a certain method I use here.
yeah,
I think it would work.
I've got it split.
You've
but
done
if
it
you-
too, okay.
If you tape it down and then rub it, and then lift it up and
Carefully.
see if it's all transferred.
Yep.
If it hasn't, you can put it back down and rub where it hasn't transferred. If you do it the other way and pick it up and see it all hasn't transferred, trying to match it up when you put it down, it ain't gonna work. So cut a little strip of masking tape, just enough to hold it in place, and try it that way.
Because you might get a portion of a little tiny end of the letter, which didn't get on there. Well, it came out pretty good. Talks about the Penske car. I had that Penske car a while now, and I went to a Penske convention in Camp Hill, and I said, my boxcars are too clean looking. Take the plunge, weather it, most of them. And that started out as a Sunshine kit. It's an X26C. I got pictures of the prototype. I'm going to pass these around. They are loading something in this boxcar. I think it's paint. It's a resin kit, Sunshine. It's got a Murphy panel roof. It was built from X29s. The Penske rebuilt over 3,000 X29s into no, wait a minute. Take that back. The Penske rebuilt X26 cars into these, over 3,000 X26Cs. This is not X29, my mistake. Erase the tape. X26. X26 was the old USRA single sheeted car. Pennsy had about a couple thousand of them. And the weathering, I took some those dry powders that John uses a lot. They come in shades of black, white, tan, rust. Put that on with a brush on top of near the roof line. And I got some warm water and a bigger brush. Just start smearing it down. See what will happen. Yeah, it looks pretty cruddy, which is good because that's what you want, crud. Then I overspray with dust, black and gray, moderately. And it looks like a Pennsy car that's been in service 6 to 7 years. Anybody get this magazine?
Okay.
Good issue, good issue. This is the summer issue, and it's the best issue they ever had. Why do I say that? Look at this photo. Freight cars. Picture taken 1958, because there's a steam engine in here. Look at the freight cars. Awesome. Inspiration for lettering and weathering.
Is that their centerfold?
Well, almost centerfold. Best picture they ever had. I gotta call Bob, the editor, tell him it's the best picture you ever had.
What
Bob.
yard was that?
What's that?
What yard is that?
This is Denver, near the station. Denver Station, Union Station right back there. The yard is all gone now. And if you look close, you see a 1956 Ford Fairlane in there. But look at that. CB&Q, of course. It's a Pennsy car, York Central, Hiawatha, SP, Rock Island, Chicago Northwestern, Fructose Express. Beautiful picture. Stay. By the way, a lot of my freight cars, especially guys like this one, stay. I'm using Tahoe Motor Works trucks. Anybody ever heard of them? These are Andrews on here. In fact, the photo that's going around has Andrews trucks on. They saved the trucks if they could. They were in good shape. They saved them. Why not? And oh, by the way, these current hoppers were built in 4 or 5 different batches. This particular car was the second batch. The first series was built 1935. This series was built 1936. The 1936 bunch had National B1 trucks on. The first series had Crown 5'10" wheelbase Crown trucks. Other trucks were other 70-ton trucks like Barrett Whitehead trucks. But they were able to mix them up according to what they could get. Because when you build 500 cars, 6,000 cars.